am your host, Zach Randles-Friedman, and you're listening to the Listen Up Girl podcast, where I bring you LGBTQ plus news several times a week. Today is Sunday, September the 7th, and I have a ton of news. I'm going to get right into it. So Kentucky churchgoers refuse to return LGBTQ plus books. You're not going to believe this. A Baptist congregation, yep, you heard it, Baptist, not surprising, in Shelbyville, Kentucky is making headlines after several members checked out children's books with the LGBTQ plus themes from a public library, and now they're refusing to bring them back. Though the church's leadership insists that this was not an official directive, Pastor John from the North Carolina openly praised the effort on Christian broadcast networking, calling the removals a mission and joking about raising funds to keep it going. Advocates for free expression warn that this tactic effectively censors queer stories and denies young readers access to affirming material, part of a larger national trend of book bans and library challenges targeting LGBTQ+. So because it's a Baptist church, I'm not surprised, because if you're like a Church of God or you're in the Baptist church, if you're not exactly like them, they are against you and they hate the LGBTQ+ community, which is quite sad in my opinion. But you know what? They're taking these books and hopefully the library will purchase them again and give those authors more money. And then these people can check them out again. The library can keep giving funds to the authors of this. So hopefully this will just backfire on them and the library will just continuing purchasing and giving these LGBTQ plus authors more money. My next story is a new study highlights asexual and aromantic visibility. A recent study by UC Santa Barbara's Resource Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity revealed that asexual and aromantic people make up around 4% of Americans aged 18 to 24, compared to just 1% of the general population. Researchers say the higher prevalence among young adults suggests growing visibility, awareness, and acceptance of identities beyond traditional sexual and romantic norms. Advocates stress that these findings challenge stereotypes that erase ace and aro communities and call for more inclusive representation in education, healthcare, and media. Trump threatens to revoke Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. President Donald Trump, fresh controversy after threatening to revoke the U.S. citizenship of comedian Rosie O'Donnell, a move he did not legally have the power to make, since Rosie O'Donnell was born in New York. Trump called her not a great American and shared distorted photo of her, drawing comparisons to the past personal attacks on women. O'Donnell quickly fired back, mocking him with a reference to the HBO series, reminding her followers that Epstein survivors, not petty insults, should be the focus. The exchange underscores Trump's ongoing use of social media to target LGBTQ plus celebrities and distract from the deeper scandals. He is doing everything he can to avoid that Epstein conversation, but keep it up, Rosie, because we are on your side. Next, anti-trans activist Graham Linehan faces court over her harassment. So Graham, the British writer, infamous for his relentless anti-trans activism, appeared before a UK court facing charges of harassment and criminal damage. The case stems from an incident in which allegedly harassed teenage trans advocate Sophie Brooks, now 18, and damaged her phone. Brooks testified that repeatedly insulted her online, including calling her a sissy porn-watching scumbag, and that his behavior made her fear for her safety. The case has sparked debate about the impact of online hate spilling into real-life harassment, particularly when directed at young trans people. Can you believe this? A grown man is attacking a young transgender person? Ugh. All right, here's a positive story. St. Lucia raises pride flag for the first time. In a historic moment for the Caribbean, the Progress Pride flag was raised in St. Lucia on August 29th, officially launching the island's 2025 Pride celebration. The ceremony, held at Résidence de France, follows a landmark court ruling striking down the country's anti-sodomy laws. Organizers from 758 Pride regional equality groups said the flag represents not only the celebration, but also visibility and protection for LGBTQ plus people who still face stigma. The Pride flag flying high here today sends a powerful message of acceptance and safety and unity, said Randles-Friedman of Eastern Caribbean Alliance. Advocates hope this milestone signals lasting progress across the region. Amazing. Love those type of stories. Next, Charlie Sheen opens up about sexuality in a new Netflix actor reclaiming his story in a new Netflix documentary and memoir, openly discussing his sexual experiences with men for the first time. In the trailer for AKA Charlie Sheen, the 60-year-old star of 2.5 Men describes flipping the menu over and calls the mission fucking liberating. The project, which includes both a 2-part docuseries and his memoir, The Book of Sheen, arrives September 9th and 10th. Sheen says he no longer wants to run from his past and hopes telling his story unfiltered will resonate with audiences who followed him. Next, trans hockey legends collaborate on a short film. Harrison Brown and Charlie Jackson, 2 trailblazing hockey players with strikingly similar careers, are finally teaming up. Both played for Buffalo in the National Women's Hockey League and found success at the University of Maine, though they never crossed paths. Now Brown, who won 2 championships before coming out as transgender, has tapped Jackson to co-star in his new short film about ex-players' transition. The project brings together their shared experiences in sports and LGBTQ visibility, continuing a legacy of pushing the boundaries of representation in professional hockey. Next, trans icons T.S. Madison and Gigi Gorgeous talk community power. When trans icons T.S. Madison and Gigi Gorgeous share a stage, sparks fly. On Madison's talk show, Outlaws with T.S. Madison, the two dished on the state of trans community, activism, and personal passions. Madison described the show as a space for outlaws, those who speak truth even when it makes others uncomfortable. Gorgeous opened up about causes close to her heart and the importance of using her platform for good. The episode served as a powerful reminder of how trans leaders continue to shape culture, inspire fans, chart new paths forward in media and activism. I watched part of this episode, and T.S. Madison is just so amazing. She opened up a house for transgender people in Atlanta. She is just such an amazing person for the LGBTQ plus community, and I'm so proud of her. My last story is AIDS Walk Los Angeles returns on October 12th. One of the nation's most enduring LGBTQ plus fundraisers, AIDS Walk Los Angeles is returning on October 12th, West Hollywood. The event will feature DJs, drag performances, and thousands of participants walking to raise funds for HIV care and prevention. Organizers say the walk is not just about money, but also about visibility and solidarity at a time when HIV still disproportionately affects the LGBTQ plus community. The event is expected to draw major community leaders, activists, and performers, keeping alive a tradition that has inspired activism and support since the 1980s. So that is my news for Sunday, September the 7th. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. It's on all podcast platforms. And also, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the news. Let me know what you want to hear more of or less of, and just give me a comment. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you later this week with more LGBTQ plus news.